So how do the splitter 2X and 4X wastewater filtration systems work? Let's begin with a high-level flow diagram of the wastewater process. In the first diagram, you will find an example of the start of batch flow. The process begins by capturing the wastewater that is produced from the rinsing of the penetrant. This is done by pumping the waste into a holding tank. Prior to entering the tank, we supply and highly recommend a pre-filtration system to prevent any large debris from entering the system that could prematurely foul the membranes. For this stage, you have the option to utilize your own holding tank or purchase one with the Splitter X. Once the holding tank has reached capacity, it is time to initiate a filtration cycle from the Splitter X interface. This can also be done automatically. The system will begin pumping the waste through the pickup tube and pass it through the system in a continuous flow. As it passes through the membranes, the clean permeate will begin to flow out of the system. The wastewater that did not pass through the membranes as clean permeate will continue to flow out of the system and can be returned to the holding tank for further filtration. This creates a continuous cycle until you are left with a bit of highly concentrated waste to be disposed of. This means that our system will not clean 100% of the entire wastewater batch. In most scenarios, you can expect the Splitter X to reduce your wastewater disposal by an average of 90%, leaving you with roughly 10% to still dispose of. As for the clean permeate water, you have a few options. You can run it down the drain with consistent testing to ensure that it meets your regional bylaws. You can save it in a holding tank for use elsewhere in your facility, or our favorite option, you can recycle this clean water back to be used in the rinse station of your penetrant system. Moving on to the second diagram, you will see the end of batch flow. At this point, your wastewater process will be reduced to approximately 10% of its original volume. This remaining waste is then pumped out to a separate holding tank for disposal, and the process tank is ready to be refilled for another batch.